haven't done so already. It looks like most of you have. I want you to take a glance at the topic of this article. I want you to read over that title, and I want you to tell me what you notice. Mario?
Making a science experiment.
Okay, they're doing a science experiment, so Mario saw that on the picture. He was using his text features to help him understand. What do we see in the title? Nancy? Okay, so the title is As the World Changes, Schools Must Change Too. What is that very first word? It's what?
Opinion.
Opinion. Let's highlight that. So the other day we talked about summarizing informational text. If text has an opinion in it, is it informational? No, because it doesn't contain just facts, it also contains opinions. What is an opinion? Nancy? Okay, so what you think or something you think it might be. So let's write down next to the word opinion, we're going to put what the author thinks or believes. What the author thinks or believes. Okay, if I say dogs have tails, is that a fact or an opinion? If I said, let's see, my name is Miss Merrifield, is that a fact or an opinion? Okay, it can be proved. Now, what about if I say I like dogs? It's an opinion. Tiffany, why is that an opinion?
Because it's what you think.
It's what I think, right, or what I feel. Okay, or you could say reading is boring. Is that a fact or an opinion? Some of you guys might want to call it a fact, but it's definitely not a fact. It's an opinion because liking something is up to the person that's saying it. So in this article, it is nonfiction, so that means that it's true. Okay, so we can write nonfiction at the top just to help remind us. This is a nonfiction article, so any and all of the information in here that are facts, they're going to be true, right? Like they've been proven. However, it does contain an author's opinion, so you need to keep that in mind as we're reading. So the title is As the World Changes, Schools Must Change Too. So this week we've been focusing on two things. We've been focusing on main idea, and we've been focusing on summary. So as we're reading this, I want you to look through the lens of a main idea. So we're going to kind of break it up in large chunks, and then we're going to talk about the main idea of each section, so that when you get to the end, you're going to be in a good place to summarize the article. Okay? I'm going to read this first section for us. What should you be doing as I'm reading? Following along. Okay? In Paris, France. The Industrial Revolution changed the world. The revolution took place in the 1700s and 1800s and was a time when many important technological advances were made. It made it easier for everyone to benefit from new inventions and ideas. However, even though technology became more common, many people did not have the training to use it. Technology sped up, but not enough people could get a good education. Since then, leaders have been trying to figure out how to make sure everyone gets a good education. One solution is through universal access to education. With universal access to education, everyone has the opportunity to go to school. It took about 100 years for the idea of universal access to schooling to spread to countries around the world. People in today's world are much more educated than the way they were hundreds of years ago. Even though many more kids have access to school than they used to, there is more work to be done. Lawmakers and leaders must make sure that everyone can get high-quality education. I want you to turn and talk to someone that's sitting next to you. So let's do you two together, and we can be a group of three. And I want you to tell that person, what is the problem in this article? What is the problem that the author says? Okay.
Years ago, the problem was that
Okay, so everyone is getting education.
they
Eric, something to
wanted
do
to work
with
and get education.
what's the problem that they're trying to fix here? So technology can't educate most people. Okay, Mario and Nancy, what did y'all think was the problem?
That they need to make sure that everyone has quality education.
Okay, so high quality education. I want you to go through and I want you to find one sentence in that first section. I would probably say in the first paragraph and highlight it, a sentence that tells you the problem. So I want you to take your highlighter and find a sentence in the first paragraph that tells you the problem. Okay, as soon as you finish that, I want you to take your highlighter, and in the second paragraph, I want you to highlight the solution to the problem. So they told us what the problem is, and then they offer a solution. I want you to find the solution in the second paragraph, and I want you to highlight it.
It was not as exciting as the ride through the snowy air, but it was pleasurable, comforting. Suddenly, he perceived the word sunshine.
When you're finished highlighting them, put a P next to the problem and an S next to the solution with your pencil.
Sunshine, he said aloud. Good.
A P next to the problem and an S next to the solution.
Not so much explain. And it came from the sky. That's right.
Go to the website and try to
Used to.
Huh? Yeah.
Before climate control, Jonas added. The man laughed.
Okay, Nancy, what did you find that said the problem?
The children Merrifield technology speed up and not enough people could get a good education.
Perfect. Perfect. So people aren't getting a good enough education. That's our problem. And Cynthia, what did you find to be the solution to the problem?
Thank you, Ms. Merrifield. One solution is through universal access to education.
Okay. One solution is through universal access to education. That was easy. It had the word solution in it. So our problem is that we don't have good education for everyone. Our solution is universal access to education. I want you to underline that word universal. Underline that word universal. Do you need the website? Okay. What does universal mean? For what? The whole world, right? For everyone. If you weren't sure what universal meant, I would write yourself a definition at the bottom, because you're going to see that later. So universal means it's for everyone.
Question. I think I have enough energy for one more transmission. Lie down once more. This will be the last today. Jonas obeyed cheerfully. He closed his eyes, waiting, and felt the hands again. Then he felt warmth again. The sunshine again.
Our next section is called Education Can Lead to Better Lives. With your partners that you were with just a minute ago, I want you to make a prediction about what this paragraph is going to be about. So you're making an inference. What is this next section, Education Can Lead to Better Lives, going to be mostly about? Make a prediction. What do you think, Ryan? Education can lead to better lives. What do you think this section is going to be about?
In the future, I think it's gonna be that when they really created the education, that education is gonna change people's lives because at first it was not.
Okay, so you're gonna be smarter and you're gonna have a better life. You agree? Okay. Eric, what do you think? What's your prediction about this section? Okay, make people have a better life. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you agree? Disagree? Okay, I think Brian agrees because he said it even though he didn't place down on it. Okay. Would you like me to read it and we can follow along, or would you like to read it yourselves? You want me to? Okay. The world is no longer as divided as it used to be. There used to be a clear division between rich, well-educated countries and poor, badly educated ones. let's stop right there and make a text connection to our real life. Do you see a division in our community of rich people versus poor people where we live? Not really? Okay, so have you ever looked at another school and said, man, that school has more money. They get better uniforms and they get nicer gyms and they get better stuff? No? I know that sometimes people that play on the sports teams get mad because they say that like the other students at the other schools get better uniforms and that they have more coaching and that their teams are better. So you guys have never felt like that? No? That's good. That's good. That means that like this is starting to be solved, right? So let's keep reading. We're starting at education can help. Education can help bridge these differences. When countries spend money to improve the quality of their education system, their people's lives improve. Yet, even in rich countries, the quality of education needs to be improved. The quality of a nation's education system is important. Education can affect a nation's economy in different ways. An economy is the amount of wealth and jobs a country has. In fact, education is a part of the Human Development Index. The index uses several factors to rate countries. It measures the quality of life of the people who have lived around the world. The index shows that being able to read leads to better lives. For example, adults who cannot read face the challenge that literate people do not. Adults with low literacy skills are far more likely to have health problems. They also trust other people less and feel less in control of their lives. Okay. Were there any words in that section that you were unfamiliar with? Do we know what literate means? Okay, we just had a test today in Kit Block over the suffix ate, right? A-T-E. Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about that with the word liter. What did ate mean? To make or to do. Okay, so what does the word liter remind you of?
Literally.
Literally, okay, think about literature. Think about, so literature, literacy. Let's look at some context clues. It says, who cannot read. Okay, it's like your reading skills. So if you take the suffix ate, right? So literate means the ability to make or to, what does that liter mean? In the beginning. To read, right? It's able to read. That's what literate means. Okay? So what it's saying is like people who can't read face challenges that people who can read do not. Do you agree with that? Yeah? Okay. So you made a prediction earlier about what this section would be mostly about. Is there a sentence in here that we could call our topic sentence of this section that tells us what the main idea of it is? If you find that sentence, let's go ahead and highlight it. You're highlighting a topic sentence that would tell you the main idea of this section. I agree with you. Need help? Okay. So what sentence in this section tells you what it was mostly about? You can tell me in your own words first. What was this section mostly about? About what? Okay, about education. And it's saying that should rich people and poor people both have a good education? Yeah? Yeah. So it's saying that no matter how much money you make or how much money your family has, is it an emergency? Not right now. Okay, thank you, Rosie. No matter how much money your family has or how much money you make, you should have access to a good education. So can you find me a sentence that represents that thought? Like something that the author says that tells you what you just said in your own words. Okay? Okay. I love that we all have different stuff. So we we all find different things important. That's okay. Okay, Eric, tell me what you had. Perfect. And Cynthia, who's on task, tell me what you had.
Yet even in rich countries, the quality of education needs to be improved.
Tell me what you had, tell me. You want me to say it? Oh, the one she just said. Okay. Mario?
In fact, education is a part of the Human Development Index.
Okay, so it has something to do with the Human Development Index. Nancy?
Thinking is not that education can affect the nation's economy in different ways.
Okay. Perfect. Jessica? You had the same one that they had? Yeah? And then Brian, what'd you have? Okay, I want you to look at what you highlighted and I want you to ask yourself, is this really the most important part of that section? Is it the most important part or did you highlight a detail? So we already said this section is about how rich people and poor people deserve a good education. Okay, so do you think that talking about the development index is a main idea, or do you think that that's a detail? A detail, okay. I agree with the three of them and Jessica. I think that yet even in rich countries, the quality of education needs to be improved. I think that that's a pretty good topic sentence. There were a couple other ones in here that would work as well, but I think that that's probably the best one. Do you understand why I think that? Okay. I want you guys to go through, and I'm going to have you responsible for reading this next section. If you would like to read it with your partner that's sitting next to you, maybe you can take turns reading paragraphs, that's fine. But just this next section, students must be prepared for jobs, and I'm going to check in with you when you're done. So the last section was about rich people and poor people should both have access to good education. What was this section about? Somebody tell me in your own words, what was this section about? Perfect. Brian highlighted the sentence that says countries must make sure that their schools prepare students for jobs. I think that's a great idea because I think that's a perfect topic sentence. It's in the first paragraph of that section. The last sentence it says countries must make sure that their schools prepare students for jobs. So this whole article is talking about having a quality education. I feel like most places people are offered an education, but it might not be a good one. So this section is saying a good education teaches students skills to help them in their jobs. So I want you to imagine this. Imagine that one day you're playing out, let's say on Free Friday, we're outside and you fall and break your arm. And you're crying and I'm like, oh no, and I take you to the hospital and I rush you in and your mom meets us there, or whoever it is that you live with, and the doctor says, hold on just a second, let me pull out my smartphone and see what I should do. Right? Would that be good?
No.
No. So it's not just knowledge that's important, right? We all have instant knowledge at our fingertips. The other day I was trying to remember something and I couldn't remember where it was from, and I pulled out my phone and I looked it up and I immediately found it. Knowledge is great, but you have to have skills. So this section is about how a good education would include skills, right? Does that make sense? Yes? No? Yeah? Okay. Hopefully you don't break your arm and we never have to experience that. Okay. Next section. We'll come back and I'll read this last one to us. Learning teamwork is important. Another important factor is teamwork. Workers today must be able to get along with others and work together. Big ideas today rarely come from people working alone. Instead, new ideas come from sharing and working together. School should give students the opportunity to connect with other students and learn how to deal with different opinions. Teammates, just a reminder, if you do not want to earn a deduction, you do need to be focused on your assignment. And if you've turned your assignment in, then you need to be focused on reading your AR book. If you're not doing one of those things, we're going to have a crucial conversation. Thank you. Lab group, I really appreciate that you're on task. Alexis and David, let's make sure that our iPads stay flat on our desk, please. Thank you. Okay. As lawmakers think about improving today's schools, they should focus on jobs. While grades are important, so is being able to succeed in the workforce. Teachers can help prepare students for life after school, too. One way to do that is to provide students services that make it easier to find and keep jobs. Educators should also teach skills that are useful in work, like teamwork and communication. As technology changes around us, the educational system must change too. It will not be easy to fix the education system. Nevertheless, it's an important goal. Governments, teachers, and businesses will all need to pitch in. In the end, the future of education depends on the students. Individuals must also step up. Students need to take advantage of opportunities to build their own future.